What's up, historians and fellow Magic dorks? This week, Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate will be out, which means a ton of new cards are entering Alchemy and Historic. And with those cards comes 3 brand new mechanics. Today, we'll try and wrap our heads around how those mechanics actually work, as well as making our top picks for what cards in this set might actually be worth crafting. On this week's Back Into the Dungeon We Go episode of Mana Rant. But first, I'm Hoshi, and I have recently become convinced that the global climate change is causing a land flood of epic proportion on my goddamn arena account. So yeah, that's my theory at this time. It's got to be it, right? There's no other explanation. And you are listening to the Mana Rant podcast, where it's my little Britishisms. They slip in there every once in a while, you know. My 1% Britishness just slips in there. The Mana Rant podcast, where, like every week, I'm joined by a man who likes dicks. And is that all we have written down in there this week? He likes dicks. You know, we have a little bit of class and creativity in this podcast, and it seems like we're getting a little lazy with our intros around here. Somebody's responsible. Anyways, the man who likes dicks. We have Drunken Dork.
What is up, everyone? Yeah, so. I didn't actually. Usually, I write my own intros. That's how it works. I didn't write it, so we got our finest person on our writing this week, and that is the next person we're going to introduce. Take it away, Hoshi.
Yeah, on the true writer. Look out, SNL. Here's the best writer that we have. Finally, This man's true and undeniable reason for why he actually hates alchemy is because he can't understand the lengthy text and mechanics of the set. We have Michael Paulo.
Yes, comedic genius aside, I am also very dumb when it comes to magic and its text. But yeah, you just got to keep it short and sweet because I'm dumb. I don't like long words. So.
They are tricky. Anyways, welcome back to the show and thank you for joining us. We are the Mana Dorks. This is the Mana Rant podcast where we go over everything on Magic Arena, except for Standard mainly. We kind of shy away from Standard for the most part, but everything else we tend to focus on. And so our show moves through the segments of Magic and the main phase, Magic. Again, I don't know what is going on with my pronunciations today, but anyways, the phases of Magic the Gathering, where our main phases are going to be the main topics that we just talked about tonight, and then we'll have a couple other little sprinkles of fun throughout the show in there. And so let's start off with our first phase, which is going to be our Untap phase.
Untap.
And Untap is where we start off the show by untapping some drinks. By far my favorite phase of the show. So let's start off with Drunken. What are you untapping?
So this week I have it's a beer mosa. Yeah, so I poured, there's this beer I've been craving. It's hot, it's summertime. It's called Mango Cart. It basically tastes like mango juice, a little bit of beer.
Nice.
And I can't find it anywhere. It's from LA. So I went out and got some mango orange juice. And I poured it in along with that keg of fucking beer I have sitting in my cellar.
Nice.
And that is what I am drinking today. Beer mosas. I got a whole pitcher here of beer. So, the goal is to shit my pants by
well,
at the end of this
that's
episode.
An easily achieved goal for you.
Yeah. Speaking of, real quick, I'm gonna go into a quick little side rant here. So I told these two, I don't know if I told the podcast, but recently I bought this thing called a one wheel, and it's basically like they put a go-kart wheel on a hoverboard and you ride it around. And I was super stoked about it. I've been going to and from work with this thing every day. Sure enough, I fucking go around a corner 20 miles an hour and there's like this tree root that was going through the concrete. So it made like the concrete like go up in a concave. And I fucking hit it caught air. It would have been so badass had I landed it. Anyway, going 20 miles an hour. Fucking hit that thing. Landed, the board came off of my feet. It landed on it sideways. And then boom, I hit the concrete super hard. It looks right now like I have fucking jaundice on the side of my body. My whole side of my body is yellow. And I pulled my goddamn groin, and I'm not kidding. Pulling your groin at my age, at the ripe age of 40, is crippling, dude. I can barely wipe my ass. It's so hard. Like, I am just like fucking hobbling around like an 80-year-old man, and it has just been an absolutely miserable week. I'm pretty sure I fractured my collarbone. This is why 40-year-old dudes should not be riding one wheels.
No, dude.
I can imagine you like going home to like your wife and you're like, babe, I don't want to ride this thing no more.
This was a bad idea.
Dude. I've been I was about to bring the ice pack in here. I was gonna have my pants around my ankles like I was taking a shit with an ice pack against my balls and groin. But I decided against it in case I need to get up in front of the camera. I don't want anyone to see that.
I don't think anyone wants to see that. That's true. Oh,
this was like 2 weeks ago. This is like right after we did the last podcast. And it still hurts like hell. And it's like, groin injuries are like one of those things where like you keep re-injuring it. Like just today I stepped on a penny in my house and my foot slid like 1 inch. I was like, oh, I just like fell on the floor. Yeah, it sucked.
Oh, gosh. Stomach hurts. Jesus, dude. All right.
Anyway, that's what I'm drinking.
That was quite the untapping.
Yeah.
All right, Apollo, what are you untapping?
Nothing as funny as fucking Drunken Dork.
Oh, God.
Just Elysian Space Dust IPA.
Oh, nice. That's local to here.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. We went to that brewery when I went to visit you last.
Oh, okay.
One of the times. But yeah, I love Elysian. I love IPA, and it's nice and strong, so.
Nice, dude. Well, for me, this is a home brew again. It's one of my homemade kombuchas, and this is mango pineapple habanero, actually. So, it might have put a little bit too much habanero in this one.
Ooh, I kind of like that, though.
Yeah, oh, man. Yeah, some homegrown habanero in there. It is,
nice.
It's delicious. Jamie cannot drink this one, though. She had one sip and was like, this is too much for me.
More for you.
Yeah, exactly. I love it, though. It is some spice, though. So, good. Cheers, everybody. Let's have a good show.
Cheers.
Try not to pull your groin while you're cheersing.
Oh, it'll probably happen throughout the episode.
Cheers, everyone.
Upkeep.
I'm on like a
upkeep.
twice a day dose of 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen.
Oh, dude, that's brutal. Well, this is our Upkeep phase, and Upkeep is Reddit Rant, where we go over some posts that we find out on the internet about people bitching, ranting, complaining about Magic the Gathering, and this week we are going back to Reddit. And so we have a post by, Ezrider. So Ezrider, and he, this has 0 upvotes.
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider. Okay. I don't know why
That makes more sense.
I don't know why I ever try and read their name.
Dude, you don't understand, like, fucking.
Ezrider, I don't know. Maybe it's a magic card or something. Anyways, this one has 0 upvotes, which is, it's probably par for course. 57 comments, 0 upvotes. So here we go. So this is, why won't people just pass the turn? Sure, every once in a while you have a complex decision to make, but honestly, 80% of the plays are straightforward. People like to hold the turn and sit there forever. We could knock out a match in 5 to 10 minutes, but some of y'all got me sitting there for about 45 minutes waiting for you to just pass priorities so I could take an action. If you are losing, just scoop. Don't make people sit there and watch you rope. We need a fast play mode. Really bad. No ropes. So, I swear to God I did not write this, but this is before the show. Drunken, you were complaining about this, so I felt like this was inappropriate. I had a couple good ones, but I felt like this one really might have hit home with you a little bit more this week.
Oh my God, dude. This has been happening to me more and more recently. I don't know if I'm just playing against fucking... but like, you know, like... I don't understand. They'll have no open mana and like an ability on their fucking creature that's deal 1 damage. Yeah. All my creatures are like 3/3s or something, and they're like, oh, do I ping one of his creatures for 1? And that's the only thing I can do, or ping him for 1? Like, dude, this isn't a complex decision. Make your goddamn decisions. Please let there be a fast mode. I think like
I would love that.
The roping system, I understand why it takes a while. It's really good for streamers too, because like when you're talking through your plays and stuff, or like people who are recording, you need a little bit more time. So I get that. But it just sucks for everyone else who's just trying to, I'm just like every week, I'm on the pooper, dude. I'm just trying to get my 5-minute game in, and it should be 5 minutes, but it turns into like a 10-minute game. Like I actually agree with this guy completely. It'd be really cool if there was like a fast mode where it doubled the speed, or like it only allowed 1 rope or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really like that. Apollo, what do you think about a fast mode, or just people roping in general, taking their time? Have you noticed more of this?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm kind of like half and half on like what this guy's like common is, though. I feel like a lot of people probably come from like Runes of Runeterra or like other like card games where it's like a lot more faster paced and you get those quicker games out. Magic is a fucking complicated, deep game, right? But that aside, Moto at least has like a way to like bypass certain actions. An Arena, the digital format, right? It should be better, but it doesn't have that. So Wizards definitely needs like to have like something implemented to where like priority is passed if you were to like click it or something, like annoying triggers that will always trigger, right? And there's like no logical way to interact with it. You know what I mean? Like it's just a trigger that pops up, but logically, you know, like there should be something so that way it can just fucking pass through really quick, because that's like really annoying. But holding priority or something like that, like 80 of the plays aren't necessarily straightforward, especially with like control or something like that. So I don't know. I'm kind of like half and half. I hate roping. I know people do it for fucking just to be dicks.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Oh, absolutely.
I definitely hate that. Like that is fucking annoying. But again, you know, you can necessarily, like you could technically have like the game in hand, and I've seen it hundreds of times of playing this fucking game. Like you can make one simple mistake, maybe attack when you shouldn't have, and then it could cost you the game because you don't know what your opponent has. You know,
absolutely.
So you know, it's like catch-22. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm kind of like half and half. I think definitely they need to fix Arena with the priority issues for sure.
Yeah,
I think just having a fast mode though wouldn't really like hurt the game at all, right? You could still play the full length mode. Like it would just have that mode like, hey, I'm trying to bang some gains out real quick here, you know, like let's do it. Maybe like people,
speed chess, right? You know,
exactly. People will most likely play aggro decks in that, I would feel like, but you know, I've played control decks where I'm still able to play without using any of my ropes, so I don't think, you know, it would be that hard, especially if it's a deck that you're really familiar with. So yeah, I think it'd be fun, and it would make the decision making just like, you know, you'd maybe make more mistakes, but so would your opponent, right? So that would be, I think that'd be interesting. I really think that would be a super cool idea to have a fast mode. Yeah. Sweet, man. Well, that was actually a pretty good round, but once again, 0 upvotes. Everyone's like, fuck this guy, you know? Like, how dare you? I want to jerk off on my turn for 45 minutes, you know?
There, I gave him an upvote. I agree with you. Easy
Rider. Me too.
187. Pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Look at this guy, said gangster, man.
There we go. I mean, I really do feel like a lot of people sit there on their turn and that, now it's my turn. Hum. What am I gonna do? Let me look at every single land that I have, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Easy Rider is gonna get a notification. He's just like, oh, I got an upvote from who? Groin Stretcher. Who's Groin Stretcher? Like.
Yeah, hey, Ez Rider, I got you, man.
Oh,
right.
no.
I got you as Ryder. All right. Well, that was right around. If you guys find anything fun out there on the internet, send it our way. And next, we're going to move on to our draw phase.
Let's draw.
And draw is where we normally go over MTG news, but this week that's going to be kind of like our main topic. So we're going to skip the news portion this week and go straight into what have we been playing over the last 2 weeks. Apollo, what have you been playing over the last 2 weeks?
Much like I've been doing, a lot of Explorer and Historic. Historic, I'm still on the Shamans. However, I'm building like a pure, like a true blue, well, I guess true red and black, Rakdos midrange. I really love midrange, and I'm liking like how midrange is kind of looking kind of good, and Historic. Trying to debate if I want to add it Jund and get that green ramp, but I just don't think it's viable to do 3 colors. So maybe just Rakdos, it's where it's at. But definitely Shamans. I love that fucking deck, by the way.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's insane. Like once you start getting like the double, triple triggers, and then everything's +1/+1, and I'm getting like 12 mana off of Burning Tree Emissaries. Like it's stupid. It's definitely a little win more sometimes, but hey, I don't know. I dig it. And then
it's just cool how that deck hasn't gone away. There's like a lot of decks that they've came there, and then they're playable. They're not like top tier or anything, but you could still you could still get mythic with that deck, no problem.
Gruul and Explorer is top tier, man. That is a good fucking deck.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, an Explorer, I'm still on the Mardu.
I'm sorry, you're talking. My bad.
Historic, yeah, no worries. But Explore. I'm on the vehicles. I can't believe I just forgot the Esper Greasefang.
Yeah.
Cool. God damn, man, I feel like people are just really hating on it. I mean, I still think it's definitely top tier.
It needs respect. Graveyard always deserves some respect.
Yeah.
Because if you can interact with your graveyard, that is probably one of the most powerful things that you can do in Magic, So
yeah, I might shift the best of 3 with that deck because a lot of people are like main boarding exile effects.
You almost have to. Yeah.
And then other than that, I've been playing a lot of Commander again, actually, with some of my coworkers. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun. We should do a Commander night at some point.
Yeah.
All right, Drunken, what have you been playing?
All right, so I have a gameplay video. I've been playing one of Hoshi's favorites.
Yeah.
So I have been playing Slivers like non-stop in Historic. So what I did is, I went on the top tier list and I found Slivers in like the top 50. Really? I pulled the deck up, and the deck in the top 50 sucked. It was terrible. Yeah. It was like almost all basic lands. It didn't have that new, there's a new creature friendly land, so there's 3 different kinds.
The one that just came out with the last set, not what was it? The Kamigawa, right?
Yeah. And so, now there's 3 creature friendly lands that all tap for any color for Slivers or for whatever creature type you want to use, which works really well in Slivers. So great. I pulled this deck up and it had like, it had fucking the, whatever the first sliver, it had like all the basic stuff, but then it also had 4 of where is this card, Cleaving Sliver, which is a 4-drop, and also it also had 4 of Coco, and like the Coco was whiffing all the time. I tried the deck as it was, and it was just bad, but I was like, what, the games I win are fun, so I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. I took out Cleaving Sliver, I took out Coco, and I added in Spiteful Sliver. All right.
Oh, is that the one that blocks and it deals the damage?
Whenever it's dealt damage, whether you're attacking or blocking, it deals damage to an opponent. Yeah. All right. And so what I have to say about this deck is I don't think it's definitely not tier S or A, or maybe not even B, but I've been doing pretty well with it. Is people don't see this deck often, so they really often misplay against it. So much so. Spiteful Sliver, I feel like they never ever read this card. I've been swung in against.
It's amazing.
With like 5/5/6/6s without trample, and they, you know, they're going to have the win, but then I'm also going to have the win because I have Spiteful Sliver, and they just lose because of it. Yeah. And like I can see them like looking around, like, wait, what happened? How did this? And it's like, I don't know. Read your cards. Another one that makes me that I win a lot, and it's just an auto concede, is Diffusion Sliver. And it's because people never read the card. They go and they like try and target it or another sliver, and then it auto fizzles, and they're like, you can see them moving their fucking cursor around and looking at all the cards, and then they just auto concede. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is like great. You know, it's a really fun deck. I've been literally playing it nonstop. I probably get in like 10 wins a day. With it. It's super fun. It's jank as fuck, but like consistent enough and really, really good against control, I've realized. Really bad against life gain. Just terrible against life gain.
There's a shit ton of life game in Historic, unfortunately. Yeah.
It's really good against exile decks, bounce decks, which I've been playing against a lot. It's good against a good portion of the decks in the meta, and it wins against enchantments a lot. And I've been playing against enchantments a lot because of Leeching Sliver. They lose life, and you know, and it's different, you know, than the 9 lives
damage.
And so I really like the deck. The only thing it's really missing is a way to exile graveyards. But besides that, I like it. I was hoping with this Historic Horizons that we're going to add more slivers in. But, you know, one can only wish. They will eventually. I know they will. But it's only it's only going to get better.
Please. Yeah, I would love it.
Been having a lot of fun.
Nice, dude. That's great. I've been playing almost exclusively Explorer. I've been hopping in and enjoying the the midweek Magic stuff too. Which
don't tell me you played Mommer.
I hated that one. Yeah,
dude, Mommer's the worst.
Yeah, Momir
fucking
sucks.
format. It's so bad.
It's like Hearts. It's like playing like the most Hearthstone-y Hearthstone, that you can play.
It's terrible.
But the one before that was pretty good. And I added a new channel into our Discord for like if you just want to hop in and grab a deck that is good in that midweek Magic thing, but maybe you don't have time to like create one or something. I thought it'd be good to have like a channel in there to where we can like throw in our decks because it's free cards, right? And like I know there's a lot of free to play players that listen to this, and so if you want to hop into our Discord and grab those, like I'm throwing them up there because I enjoy getting those free cards every week. I was having fun with that. But Explorer, I've been just trying all kinds of stuff. Like I want to see what I can really like have fun with in that format before I like really dive back into Historic. And I've been playing Bounce this week, which has been a lot of fun. I don't run into Bounce decks really ever on Explorer, and it's pretty grindy in there. It's definitely not nearly as powerful as in Historic, but
Explorer is what you were talking about. I didn't realize. I thought you were playing in Historic. Okay, I never see it in Explorer.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's fun. It's grindy though. It's tough to to grind out the wins with it, but man, is it fun when you get it, And then I've been playing I've been trying to get Big Red to work. I just can't get Big Red to really work in in Explorer. It just feels like it's missing the ramp that it had in in Historic. So that's a bummer. And then there's a couple other ones. I've been playing some hate stuff, some Orzhov hate, which does really well because there's a lot of Grease Fangs and other things out there that just like are destroyed by hate decks like that. So I've been bouncing around just trying out all kinds of weird stuff and exploring. I'm having fun. I'm losing a lot, but it's most of the time it's a good time. And I'm excited to get back into Historic, and maybe I've been watching some videos of our predictions of those cards from the last Alchemy set that came out, like the ones where we were like, these seem like they'll be pretty good. I've been seeing a lot of cool videos of that, like the Mob Boss guy or the have you seen that the Golgari, not Golgari, the Gruul guy, where he gives enter the battlefield to get treasure tokens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's had some incredible jank combos that have been going off with that guy. There's some really cool stuff that came out of that set. So
Cool.
I'm excited to check out main phase 1 and see about this new set that's coming out, these new mechanics. Maybe there's some fun stuff that'll pop up from this one. So hopefully. So let's move into main phase 1.
Main phase 1.
All right, and so in main phase 1, we're going to talk about the new mechanics from this set, and then in main phase 2, we'll talk about, what actual cards we think might be good in this set. So, Drunken, you're the main person who actually took the time to read about these mechanics. Bravo, I applaud your efforts for that. So, what do we got in this new set?
So today we're going off of, I'm always going to try and cite my source. It's articles.Star City Games.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of forward slashes. So, just go to Star City Games.
I got it pulled up here if you're watching as well.
Okay, so there's a whole bunch of shit in this article, but we're going to go over the mechanics. So I'm just going to read straight out of here. 3 MTG Arena exclusive mechanics are coming in Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate. First up is Specialize. This is the most complicated, fucking weirdest mechanic that if you are not part of our Discord, please join. A bunch of cool ass people. We're always talking about different shit on there. It's not always MTG related, but generally it is. And this is the one that's like really nobody's fan of. And so Specialize allows a player to pay mana and discard a color/land type of your choice to change your card to the new card with its effect. The change depends on which color you discarded. That's a fucking confusing ass way of explaining it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm just gonna read a card and give you an example. So Viconia. Viconia. There we go. Night Stinger's Disciple. So the base card with Specialize is 1 and a black, and it's a 2/3, and it says Specialize 2, and then it has another effect on it. So the way I understand this is Specialize is like a ability that works in your hand, kind of like cycling, right? So while how do you say his name again, Paulo?
Viconia.
While Viconia is in your hand, you can pay the Specialize ability, which is 2 colorless mana, and then you discard a card, almost like cycling, right? So you discard either a blue land or a blue creature, and then all of a sudden Viconia becomes Viconia, Disciple of Arcana, and then he has all this other text on him, and he's a 3/4, but you still have to cast him. He's a 3 mana card instead of a 2 mana card.
Well, sorry, one caveat on that is if you discard a blue card, then you can like change him into whatever has that like blue. So if you were to discard a black card, this guy has like 5 different things that are black. So then you can pick all 5 of those that you want to pick. So
that's
like
true.
The card that you discard limits what you can change him into.
Yeah. So yeah, like, he basically, if you're running a mono black deck or with like maybe a black blue deck, you discard a black card and you can turn him in, or like a blue black red deck, you discard him a black card and you can still turn him into a black red one or a black blue one because you need that blue mana in your hand or something. So, I think it's kind of cool because like these cards have very specific effects when they change the creature itself, like to very like, Dimir or Golgari, like things like that. And they do effects that are related to its color pairing. What do you guys think of this? And any? Okay. So first of all, I like the idea of it. I like that you can I like the flavor of this and the idea of when probably they were doing R&D. Like they're like, wouldn't it be cool if like in Dungeons and Dragons, you could specialize in some kind of job field or something, right? And so we'll try and do that where we pay a couple mana, but then they just went down. They were like, made it way too fucking complicated after that. Oh, we got a discard, and then it depends on the color of the card that you discard to whatever job field that he can go into. And then each certain job field has every like 1,000 fucking words for each one. So I think the idea behind this was cool, but the execution of it is just way overly fucking complicated for someone that's just trying to play out a card game, That's my take on it. I don't like it just because of that. Apollo?
Yeah, I feel like they're just trying to like fit everything that is alchemy into a singular card with different modes, right? So just like all of them, what I can see, like this particular card, Viconia, Disciple of Blood, or Night Singer's Disciple. I mean, it has a different name for every fucking color identity, which is already confusing. But the thing I can see is that they all have Conjure, I think, and they all have Perpetual. It feels like I'm reading all 5 of them.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it seems like they're jam-packing all the unique alchemy mechanics into like one 6-modal card or whatever. And it's just like, wait, so hold on. So I got to specialize, and then I got Conjure, and then I fucking duplicate Perpetual, and then Spellbook, and then fucking Seek. And, I don't understand a lot of this already. So it's really confusing. I mean, when you break everything down text by text, it's easy to be understand. Like, it's understandable, but still, I just feel like they're trying to fit way too much into one card type, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, that's not, I mean, this particular card isn't uncommon, so that's not even going to say like this is necessarily good.
It's not.
I mean, a 3/4 for 3 is like, that's all right.
Bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Pay 1, and it's not even a tap ability to exile target card from a graveyard. That's good. It's a good graveyard hate on a stick. So just like by itself, like, it's already a good creature. But with all the text, are you going to be able to utilize it? I don't know. Like, I guess maybe they're forcing new archetypes. I don't know. I honestly don't know the direction that they're trying to go with this. Like,
yeah.
So
I don't know.
I definitely have a different view than I think a lot of the people on our Discord about this. Like, I think at surface level, it seems like more complicated than it actually is. Like, I think once you start using these cards and you have it in your deck, like, you don't actually need to understand what the other colors are doing. You just need to understand what the colors you want are going to do. And so when you specialize into your color pair or color pie or whatever you want to do, you're like, okay, I'm running Grixis, right? A Grixis deck. So I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit about the Golgari or the Orzhov one. I'm not even going to read them. All I care about is the black-red and the black-blue one. And, like, not this card, but maybe another card. Like, you're like, okay, those actually work well, with my color pie. And it's like something I can sink my mana into if I don't have like anything to do on my curve, right? And like, I always kind of like stuff like that, where you can play things from your hand and kind of just like curve yourself out, even though technically that isn't, because you're like paying 2 so this card actually costs 5 if you play it at the 3 mana cost. But I do like the idea of it a lot more. But I want to point out one thing. Viconia, Disciple of Blood. This is foreshadowing, Hoshi. When this creature enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Each opponent, you see what I'm seeing here? You see it?
Okay. I mean, this maybe
definitely multiplayer.
Okay. Maybe since this is a arena specific one, I'll give you this one. You've been, most of the time you bring this up, you're reaching real high. You're like tippy toes on the counter trying to reach something that's not there, but this time actually, this is a only arena format card, and then they put that in there. So maybe, dude.
They probably have no plan to do it anytime soon. No. But I think maybe they're thinking potentially in the future, if we do want to make a buttload of money, like, why not have a few cards out there in the meantime that will, so people have a bigger card pool, you know what I mean, to play with.
Maybe.
I hate to be the guy to drag this fucking on, but I'm sorry. Like I said, I am confused by this, because like a lot of them actually say this, but like the Orzhov one in particular, it says when this creature specializes, conjure a duplicate of target creature card exiled with this creature. So I think the creature has to enter the battlefield, then you specialize while it's on the battlefield, because you have to use the exile target card from a graveyard ability on the card itself.
So you can specialize while it's in the battlefield, is what that sounds like. Then.
I'm thinking specialize has to work on the battlefield, right?
But so if you look at the image that we're looking at, even though it's kind of like covered up, choose the specialization. There's no creatures on the battlefield on his side, because I believe you'd be able to see them. And so I think this is happening in his hand.
But then, like I said, that's all fine and well, but
so when
it's a legendary creature, so how would you be able to exile target card from a graveyard?
So when this creature is specialized, so the way you specialize is you exile a card out of your hand, or you discard a card from your hand. So
I think this can happen on the battlefield. Then I think Apollo's right.
Conjure a duplicate of target creature.
Because that wouldn't make any sense if it was in your hand and then it says when this creature specializes. So I think it has to be on the battlefield, actually.
Because all 5 instances of that creature, it says exiled with this creature. So you have to use that 1 mana ability, and it has to be on the battlefield for that to work.
I think so. That makes it a lot more powerful.
So you'd pay 2 to bring it out, pay 2 to specialize, pay 1 to target a card.
Well, I'm just a fucking idiot. Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. These cards are crazy. Like, they're fucking too much.
I have to play with it. Like, it's it's. I feel like this tiny little 2-sentence fucking mechanic does not do enough explanation.
Okay.
Now, this isn't official Wizards, but like
no. All right, let's skip specialize. Let's move on to the next
chat,
one.
This comments, Discord. Let us know, because we're
shit
fucking
on me
dumb,
in the comments.
dude. Like, let us know. How does this fucking work?
Way too much. Let's move on to double team.
All right, double team. The second mechanic in the set reads, when a creature with double team attacks, if it's not a token, conjure a duplicate of the original into your hand, and then both cards lose double team. This is pretty easy to understand.
Okay.
So basically, if when this creature attacks with double team, then you fucking conjure a copy in your hand, and then they both lose double team. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty self-explanatory. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I like it for Gruul. You know, aggro, mid-range, like, it's good. Get another copy. If you want that copy of that card, you get it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. It seems like they were trying to like copy Myriad, you know, but they were, instead of making the duplicate on the field, they just put it into your hand. So sure, simple mechanic. I like that. I wish the first mechanic was more straightforward like this one, you know? Yeah. This could be great. I like it. As long as the cards are good that have double team, you know, this could be a good one.
Spoiler alert, we've looked at all the cards so far and they suck. So.
Yeah, all right. All right, let's move on to the third one then.
And then the third mechanic, Boon, isn't specific to Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate, as it can work with cards already added to Alchemy. Boon is a way to represent delayed triggers similar to an emblem, but once they trigger, they disappear. And then so I'll just read a Boon card.
Okay.
And it says target creature. So arcane archery. It's 2 and a green for an instant. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains reach and trample until end of turn. You get a boon with when you cast your next creature spell, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 reach counter and trample counter on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just adding effects.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that that seems like something that they already do. They just don't have an emblem for it, I guess. Yeah,
so now you just get a little emblem that fucking disappears after the ability, you know, goes off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hardly a mechanic. I guess they're just giving a mechanic name to it now in this one. They do that sometimes. All right. Sweet. Any that's it. It looks like. Any final comments on the mechanics from these?
I mean, fucking Specialize is just really confusing.
Yeah, it is.
I think I am going to like it ultimately, but I just have to see it played out because obviously I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm
obviously.
Cards.
Yeah. Well, all right. If we don't got anything else, let's move into the combat phase.
Dorkish Combat!
And Combat is our horseshit card game hosted by Drunken Dork.
What is up, everyone? This is the Horseshit Card Game, and this is a game that I make up every single week. And just like last week, it's going to be something a little different. So because Explorer has been so popular, and they're slowly reaching it back into the Pioneer catalog, I figured I'd pick 5 cards from Pioneer. 5 of the top 50 cards according to MTG Goldfish. And it's up to you two fucking morons to figure out which is the top played creature card out of these 5 in Pioneer, okay?
In Pioneer or Explorer? In
Pioneer.
Oh, that's tough. I don't play Pioneer.
Interesting.
Okay. Oof.
All right. So I will go over these cards. So the first one's going to be Eidolon of the Great Revels, one of Apollo's favorite. It's red for an enchantment creature spirit. Whenever a player casts a spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, Eidolon of Great Revel deals 2 damage to that player. And it is a 2/2. Then we have Meteor Golem, 7 colorless mana for an artifact creature golem. When Meteor Golem enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls. It is a 3/3. Then we have Brazen Borrower. It is 1 blue for a creature, fairy, rogue. When it goes on an adventure for 1 and a blue, where it can return target non-land permanent opponent controls to its owner's hand, and then it also has flash flying. And Brazen Borrower can block only creatures with flying. It's a 3/1. We have Skyclave Apparition, which is 1 white for a creature, core, spirit. When Skyclave Apparition enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. When Skyclave Apparition leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token, where X is the converted mana cost of the exiled card. I don't know why I deleted it. You think I'd know this card, seeing it like every goddamn day of my life. And it is a 2/2. By the way, I get every time with Slivers, man. They play this and they try and get my Slivers. I'm like, And then finally we have Hull Breaker Horror. It is 5 blue for a creature, Kraken Horror, has flash, and it says this spell can't be countered. Whenever you cast a spell, choose up to 1. Return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand, or return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. And it is a 7. So, I think last week I started with Apollo, so this week I'm going to start with Apollo again. Apollo. Top played creature card in Pioneer.
Oof.
What do you think? I mean, you should know this better than Hoshi, considering you've been doing a little more research on this than
Yeah.
All right, so I definitely know about some Pioneer and some cards that are played. My reasoning is Eidolon is definitely a card.
Yeah.
Skyclave and Brazen Borrower are also a card. I'm pretty sure Hullbreaker Horror is a thing as well. Meteor Golem isn't. That's an odd one, but I feel like that might be played in like mono green card. But is
Tron.
it the most played card?
Yeah, so
Tron,
it's top played card overall.
Top played card. Oh man, are people playing a lot? Of
I mean, it's not the top played. These are all top 50. None of them is number 1 for top creature played, but like
just
they are all part of the top 50.
Okay.
Yeah,
out of these ones, which one is the most
which
popular?
one is the most played? Yeah.
Which one's the most played? I'm just gonna use like logic reasoning on this. I'm just gonna go with. Man, it's either Hullbreaker or Meteor Golem. I'm gonna go with Meteor Golem.
Okay.
Oof, Meteor Golem, nice. Man, I feel like out of all of these, the one that fits probably in the most decks would be Brazen Borrower. I fucking hate that card, and I feel like it's one of the best Yeah, Eidolon of the Great Revels is insane too. I'm sure that is in a shit ton of red decks. If any red deck is gonna play that card, it's insane. I'm gonna go with Brazen Borrower though. I think it's in the most. Skyclave, I've bet on that before and I've been wrong, which is mind blowing to me because it's such a good card. I'm gonna go with Brazen. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So one of you is right. One of you is wrong, obviously.
Ooh.
So, all right. I'm gonna start it off with the bottom. The worst card, not the worst, the least played card in here is Skyclave Apparition, which is shocking to me.
See, once again.
It's like number 49 or something like that.
What? It's so crazy.
And then followed by that is Eidolon of the Great Revels.
What?
Is like number 30 something.
Okay.
And then after that is Hullbreaker. It's like number 27, something like that.
Oh wait, you didn't break Hullbreaker, huh? It was.
No, he didn't.
Oh shit.
And then so right above Hullbreaker, like two cards above Hullbreaker, is Brazen Borrower.
No.
Yeah. It's like 20 something. And then like number 7 is Meteor Golem.
What the fuck? How?
So, all right, if you look at it this way, a Meteor Golem probably goes in one's very specific deck, but it can also fit in literally any deck because it's 7 colorless mana. So it probably
I guess
it has a couple of different decks, and like every other card I pulled out here, they're all double pips, right? They're all like blue, red, white, white. You know, which makes them a little harder to splash in like tricolor decks and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah. Good job, Apollo.
Wow, dude.
Getting it right 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I don't know shit about I don't know shit about Pioneer, so
yeah, my only reasoning on that was because of I follow Pioneer's like tier list and metagame, and I know that, like I said, mono green Tron, so I know it's a popular deck. And a lot of them, like Eidolon is specifically mono red, and blue is if you're playing like blue style. So that was the reasoning.
We were gonna do this week like what some of the key cards that are making a difference between Pioneer and Explorer are, and like what we need to go to, and maybe decks that we might build out to. But we didn't get enough research in. Apollo's the only one that really looked into it a lot. So so we didn't do it this week. But
one crazy thing that I forgot when I was looking at this. So, the number 2 and 3 was Land of War Elves, which we already have in our format, right? In Historic, I should say, right? But then the other one is what is it called? Mystic Elf or Mystic?
Elvish Mystic.
Elvish Mystic, which we do not have yet in Historic, which will be great once they introduce that into Historic. Yeah, elves are, they're already a fucking powerhouse. One mana fucking mana tapper is great.
It's gonna be nuts, dude.
Yeah.
But if you guys do want us to talk about like how Pioneer can translate into Explorer, let us know in the comments below. If you're listening on whatever you get your podcast, check out the YouTube. Check it out and let us know.
Jesus, Apollo's really turned it around, I guess, huh?
Yeah, he has.
Amazing.
Hoshi, you fucking loser, bro.
I know. I don't know what's happening.
What are you doing with your life? All right, get your shit.
I just want to say that I at least picked the one right below it, so I was close.
Yeah,
quit your job.
Like to the wire.
I was close. Yeah.
Quit your job. Start researching Magic cards on like 8
Stop
hours a
farming
day.
on your fucking Florida farm,
man. Dude. Yeah, I'm too busy. Being Florida man. All right, let's move into main phase 2.
Main phase 2.
All right, main phase 2 is where we're going to talk about what cards we actually think are interesting in the set. There's a lot that, Drunken already alluded to that are garbage in this new Baldur's Gate set, but there's a couple that I think could be pretty spicy.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at our first picks. Each of us picked 2 cards that we think are either worth crafting or are going to be maybe significant in this new set. So let's take a look at our first picks here. So Apollo, you're up first with Displacer Kitten.
So I kind of went against the grain on what the topic choice was. I picked Displacer Kitten because I actually don't like this card because it's going to fuck up Historic. But
yeah,
I'll go ahead and talk about that. So Displacer Kitten is 3 colorless, 1 blue for a 2/2 creature cat beast. It has Avoidance. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So if you guys haven't been doing your research out there, listening in or tuning in, there's been a lot of articles and a lot of like people already freaking out saying that this is like odd, like immediately needing to be banned in Historic because it creates an infinite mana, infinite fucking loop that is nearly impossible to interact with Mox Amber and Teferi Time Raveler. So the way that it like works is Teferi Time Raveler, opponents can't cast any spells on your turn, right? So there's the big one. But Hoshi did make like a very good point saying that there was like a land or something that it's like a discard ability. So that is technically the like a way you can interact with it. But essentially, you have Displacer Kitten, then you have Teferi Time Raveler, you cast Mox Amber, you minus Teferi, return Mox Amber to your hand, and you bounce Teferi. Like, so you get this infinite loop where you're able to bounce Teferi forever. You keep drawing cards, you keep creating mana with Mox Amber. So you draw your entire deck. You get infinite mana, and then you just cast what's that dumb fucking card? Emery. I win the game. So not only is it an instant win, forever, well, no, it's not an instant win. It's a slow fucking
very
drain
slow
win.
Yeah.
Gotta wait for them to draw the rest of their deck, and that's toxic. It's not going to be good. But even then, even if you're not trying to do the combo, some article I read was even like ETB effects, enter the battlefield effects, are pretty broken. Yeah. So like something like Niv Mizzet Reborn or Yorion. So like bounce effects or like cheating cards into like your hand or a pseudo hand for you to play, that's always broken, right? It's like Niv Mizzet, his initial trigger is already crazy to get that twice. Yeah. So yeah, I picked this because I already know it's going to be banned.
I just hate Mox Amber. I think this is it itself isn't that bad. It's Mox Amber is really annoying. It has a lot.
Zero cost.
Yeah, anything that's zero cost like that. I don't think this should be banned. I think Mox Amber should be, but that's just me. I'm not a big fan of that card. Cool, man. I didn't know about that combo. I looked at this and was like, oh, that's interesting, but it's I didn't obviously go galaxy brain on this where I was like, if I do Teferi and Mox Amber.
Yeah.
And I take no credit for that. This is the internet. These are bigger brains. I just like read articles and I'm like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
So
you can read?
Yeah. I think so. Or at least I try to. I asked Google.
That's fair. Me too.
He's sounded out, All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got next here. We got Black Market Connections. This is my choice, and this is a 3-drop enchantment for 2 and a black at rare, once again. And then at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, choose 1 or more. So you can choose all of these if you want, or just one, but it looks like you have to choose one regardless. And the first one is Self-Contraband, which is create a treasure token and you lose 1 life. Just a treasure token. It's not tapped and you lose 1 life. So that's pretty good. Then Buy Information is the second one, and that's draw a card and you lose 2 life. Okay, and then we have Hire a Mercenary, which is create a 3/2 colorless shapeshifter creature token with Changeling, and you lose 3 life. And so shapeshifter, Changeling means that they're all creature types, basically. So this can play into a lot of different decks, but you lose 3 life for this one. Where I thought this looked really crazy in is like Shadow, where you want to lose life. And then this enchantment allows you to lose 6 life just based off of this. But you also get a lot of like crazy benefits to losing that life too, which could be a benefit to you. So I think this is very like black flavorful. I really like that you can just choose a couple of them or whatever. Like the versatility of this card is really crazy and interesting, I think. I really like it. What do you guys think?
I love it. It's the gift that keeps on giving, right? Mm-hmm. Like the fact that like typical cards we see usually like sacrifice itself after it fulfills its modes or whatever. Like pick 1 or more, it gets exiled, or once you pick the last one, it's destroyed. This doesn't. they're not powerful enough to where it's broken.
Yeah.
But it's fits black. It, like you said, like you can kind of like pick your flavor, pick all three, pick the one that you want. So yeah, it's a gift that keeps on giving. It's really cool, and it forces your opponent to interact with it, you know? So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It's a good card.
So, I mean, this is obviously like Black Market's baby, sister or whatever,
Yeah.
right, or baby brother, and like Black Market, it had similar text where it said on your pre-combat main phase. It said exactly that actually.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think
too.
it just added black mana in like depending on how something. I don't remember what it was exactly. But like I think this is cool. It is 3 mana, which is kind of expensive, so it doesn't really. I guess it. At the beginning, so yeah, it doesn't get going until your next turn, right?
No, it's pre-combat main phase.
Yeah,
so if you cast this on your first main phase,
it doesn't work. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So it doesn't really get going until turn 4 unless you're running like black green and mana shenanigans or whatever. So I think that like is a downfall. I do like it though for the shitty card pool we have to pick from. It's there's nothing particularly great there. I personally think, except for my card I picked next one. But like I do like this. Like when I see this, what I read though is Brawl. That's what I read. I read like Historic Brawl or something. This would be really good and some type
where you have
of
a little
game.
bit more life too, to play with. Yeah,
where you're like constantly balancing your life out with some type of deck, black white deck, black white blue deck, or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Yeah, I hope we see it in something.
I think we will. I like it a lot. I don't. If not just like the abilities of it, the flavor and everything is pretty cool. With the shitty selection that we have so far. All right, so next we have Drunken. You picked Shadowheart. All right, so Shadowheart of many names. So go ahead, take it away.
So it's funny you say that the black market would probably go good in a shadow deck because this would too. Okay. So not knowing exactly how Specialized works yet, I fucking picked this card. And so Shadowheart, Sharon Cleric, I can barely read it. I think that's what it says. It's 1 and a black for a legendary creature, human elf cleric. It's an elf too, which is pretty sweet. Has Specialized to activate only if a player has 13 or less life. So definitely could work in a shadow deck.
Sure.
Says at the beginning of your end step, Shadowheart, Sharon Cleric deals 1 damage to each player. So that's yourself and your opponent.
Yeah.
And it says each player though. So, it could mean more than 2 players.
Yeah. Right. Oh my God.
But then I'm just gonna read some of the other ones because I think these are pretty good. So the specialized versions of Sharon or Shadowheart. I'll first read the 1 black one, and it's a Death Touch Lifelink, and it's a 4/4 for 3 mana. 1 black for a 4/4 is pretty good with Death Touch and Lifelink. So it says at the beginning of your end step, Shadowheart Cleric deals 1 damage to each player. The thing is, it has Lifelink on it, right?
That's
so
cool.
you can gain the life back. Then the blue one, they all share the similar ability of dealing 1 damage. This one says whenever you lose life during your turn, draw a card. So basically, he deals damage to each player. You draw a card. Oh shit! I just lost it. Hold on. There it is. All right, and then the green one is whenever he deals damage, you get a +1/+1 counter on him. The red one is whenever you lose life during your turn, your opponent loses life. And this is pretty cool when you have like Thoughtseize and stuff like that too, right?
Yeah.
Where you're damaging yourself or other creatures in shadow decks. And then finally, the white one is whenever you lose life during your turn, create a 2/2. Now, this one's, I think, one of the more powerful ones because whenever you lose life during your turn, so you can lose life multiple times. There are creatures where you can ping yourself. So you can get a swarm of 2/2s, as long as you're not dead.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this may be a cool card. Not knowing how Specialized works, I'm interested to see it. But out of all the Specialized cards, this is why I picked it, because I just wanted to be at least one person to pick this fucking weird ass mechanic. It seems like one of the cooler ones, and I always like those shadow decks. Those like, balancing your life with your opponent's type of thing, And so I just think it looks cool. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I like that there's a bunch of cool different flavors to this. It seems like the specialized ability is pretty interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of weird angles with this thing. I do like it though. I think out of the specialized cards that I looked at so far, this one looks the most interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Its mana cost and its abilities like kind of complement each other. All the color combinations fit the flavors of like the guilds that they're representing, and they're all pretty good. I think I agree with you on the Orzhov though, because there's a lot of ways to lose life, especially with like lands as well, and damaging and pinging yourself. So being able to create 2/2s that just kind of fits Orzhov and like what they're trying to do. Forcing your opponent to board wipe or interact with your board is beneficial. So, if they don't do it, then you're swinging.
The funny thing about the Orzhov one is if they're playing that Raptor, where whenever that stops life gain, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you deal damage to yourself. Like that would kill you because you couldn't gain life. And then every time it hit you, right, you would kill yourself by using the Orzhov
would it be
one.
like an infinite death? Nice.
Hey, checks and balances, man. It's rocks, paper, scissors.
That would be pretty funny.
I like that. That's cool.
That's good. Yeah.
It's a good way to fucking kill yourself in Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
That's always fun. I love committing Subaku, if I can. I'm like, you shall not kill me. I shall destroy myself.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well, cool card. All right, let's check out the next one. All right, I like that because I was feeling a little like, what the fuck, when looking at these. All right, so next we got Urgard. Oh my god, I cannot spell that pronounce that. Uthgard Fury. So take it away.
All right, so Uthgard Fury, 1 colorless, 2 red for an enchantment at rare. When Uthgard Fury enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to any target. Damage isn't removed from creatures your opponents control during cleanup steps. I love this. It's an interaction I don't believe we have ever seen. So what this like essentially says is cleanup step. It's the most forgotten fucking phase through the turns of Magic. But during your cleanup step, any damage that has been done to creatures, that's actually when it gets restored. So aside from discarding back down to hand size, when damage is dealt to your creatures after combat, that damage actually stays until it goes to cleanup. And then when cleanup happens, damage is restored back to full. This card says no. So damage stays. And that's really fucking cool. I mean, obviously Hoshi hates it. I mean, he fucking hates burn. But this is really cool for burn because now they can like utilize their burn spells to do damage to creatures. And then the next time that they, get a chance to, they can use a shock and finish off something that's bigger. So they can deal with the bigger creatures. This is a theory I said last episode, I believe, but this is I think Wizards' agenda to make burn last
tier,
to the late game.
More tier 1. I don't know. Yeah.
But aside from burn, I think it could be actually utilized in other decks as well, especially creature aggro decks or mid range where they're doing damage. And depending on situations, whether you have Embercleave or maybe you're using Boros artifacts, you can attack. Maybe you have indestructible, but that damage will stay on that creature, your opponent's creature. So there's a lot of utilities for this. So I think it's going to fit at the very least sideboard, but I think we'll see main board play with this card. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
I agree. I hate this card. I think it shouldn't say any target. I think it should be creatures or maybe planeswalkers as well. The ability to go face with this card as well just makes it an auto include, I feel in any kind of burn deck. Where that's too powerful. It shouldn't be able to go
4 for 3 is good.
It shouldn't be able to go face. It should only be able to hit creatures, because that's the whole point of this thing, is to be able to kill creatures, right? So I think they push this card a little too much with that first part of it. 4 for 3.
Yeah, the only card that's better than this would be Borrow's Charm.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
Like 3 mana, so.
Or at the bare minimum, if they wanted to keep it like this, it should have been 3 damage. So I think this is too powerful. I think it's, I think it's, once again, Wizards just giving red everything that red wants. Red has card draw now. It has fucking... It has exile.
That our Discord is going to light you up. Right?
I don't care. I don't care.
I can see the seething on you right now.
It's just too much. It's always too much.
Hoshi's bias aside of is dislike for red. I think this card is really cool, and we have seen similar things to this. Think of it as almost -1/-1 counters, but only for the butt, right? Only for the back end. And I kind of like it. Yeah, you're exactly right, Apollo. It's allowing mono red to go a little later in the game. Now imagine this. Uthgard, it works really well with cards like Goblin Chain Whirler, where you play this and then you hit something for 4, kill it. Then Goblin Chain Whirler, you play 1, fucking hit everything for 1. Play another 1, hit everything for 1. It's a pseudo board wipe. This seems really good. This, I think, really works in it probably works in an aggro deck, but I think it ultimately will fit really well in a mid-range deck. And that's where I like it the most. Yeah. Where you're trying to eliminate the boards and maybe mono, what is the mono red one that what's his name plays all the time, or the big one in our Discord?
Big Red.
Big Red.
This would go
Big
perfect in a Big Red.
Yeah.
It would go really well in a deck like that, where you're pinging with Chandras and doing all kinds of stuff like that.
That's true.
Yeah, I think it actually fits better there than in a aggro deck.
I don't think so.
That's true.
Also, look at the other upside to this. It's only your opponents that suffer this too, so it doesn't work against you either. So this thing is just all fucking positives. 4 damage is a lot. The damage doesn't go away. It doesn't affect your creatures. It's an enchantment, which is difficult to remove, but you still get the actual damage effect of it. This card is crazy pushed. I think out of all the things that we've looked at so far, this is by far the strongest card.
I agree.
It's
100%.
For sure buff. Yeah, it's for sure going to buff burn and Gruul. Without in a vacuum, for sure burn and Gruul are going to benefit from this.
It's just damage. It isn't even combat damage. It isn't non-combat damage. It's just damage, which is also insane. This card is crazy pushed. It's once again,
I can see this being rebalanced possibly.
Yeah, I fucking hope so.
The big thing is it's red, and it is good. I definitely don't think it's pushed. I definitely think there's significantly better cards in the format, and it will add to a deck, but mono red isn't even number 1. Elves has been number 1 forever.
Yeah, that's true.
Forever, and so give mono red the reins for a little bit, or give
mono red's never been there before. It definitely needs it.
Or America Control, this could potentially work well in something like that.
I do like it for Big Red, because Big Red is the classy red.
I mean, I'm for sure gonna play this card. I'm excited to see. It's at the very least, Hoshi grumpiness aside, it's an interaction we haven't seen, I believe, yet before. Interacting with the cleanup step. So I think that's really unique.
I mean, there's Patient
right,
Zero, which was another alchemy.
Yeah.
Specific card, but that card saw no play because it was specific to zombies, I think. So this, and it wasn't even that good in zombies. So all right,
good pick though, Apollo. I really like it.
Very strong. All right, next we got Tasha, Unholy Archmage, which is a 4-drop. It's 2, a blue and a black for a legendary planeswalker, Tasha at Mythic. And this was an actual card that existed in the Baldur's Gate set, but it has been changed for Alchemy specifically because it had a bunch of commander stuff in there that did not apply to to Arena. So,
that's interesting.
Yeah, so this is an interesting card because it's been retooled. It exists in 2 different forms now. So it starts off at 4 loyalty, and then it has a +1. Until your next turn, whenever a creature attacks you or Tasha, Unholy Archmage, put a -1/-1 counter on that creature.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I feel like this has existed somewhere before on a Planeswalker, but I can't remember which one. Maybe it was Vraska or something around there.
Jace had -1/-0 until end of turn.
Okay, yeah, and this is only if they attack you or Tasha. So that's cool. And then we got a -2. Target opponent puts a creature card of their choice from their graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That creature gains Ward 2. So I don't like the fact that your opponent can control what they pick to put on your side, but I still think this is pretty powerful, and it gets Ward +2 at that point as well. That's pretty crazy potentially, especially if they had something gnarly. If you're playing against like a graveyard deck and they only have like crazy things that they throw in their graveyard, this could be an instant win right there at that point. So I like that. I like the possibility of it. And then lastly, we have a -6. Target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal 3 creature cards. Put those cards into the battlefield under your control. That player puts the rest into their graveyard. And this, I think, is super interesting, too, because if you're playing against a control deck that doesn't have any creature cards, they're super fucked at that point. Even if they only have a couple, you might get all of their cards and then the rest of everything just goes into their graveyard. So, man, what do you guys think of Tasha?
Cool. It's a cool card. Yeah. I like it. I think it's a fair amount of loyalty. It's very Dimir, target opponent puts a creature card of their choice from their graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That creature gains Ward 2. Like that. Yeah, that's a very Dimir ability. And then the +1 it's a very black ability. And then the -6 is like a really like blue-black, a very Dimir ability. So I like this card overall. I could definitely see this being played. Maybe not in like a S tier deck unless potentially we get like Esper Control or something like that. This would work maybe well in something like that, or Dimir Control. I'm interested to see what people who are much more intelligent than me do with this card.
Paulo, what do you think?
Okay, so first off, I want an avatar of Tasha. I want sleeves of Tasha.
Agreed.
All right. I'm just gonna say there's something about Tasha, like Liliana, Olivia. Like I have a trend that a flavor I like. Slay Queen. I fucking love Tasha. She is gorgeous and she's a great card. So. Dimir, this is exactly what Dimir needs, right? Yeah. Azorius always has fucking Teferi. Yeah. And the problem with Dimir control is they don't have their own planeswalker that kind of like fully like fits their flavor. There's that Ashiok one that has like her head. Yeah, Ashiok, right? Yeah. But Ashiok has like a very specific way of playing that not necessarily like is the playstyle of Dimir control.
This
fits Dimir control. Yeah. Like very well. -1/-1 counter. So it fucking fucks up aggro and mid range. Getting creatures under your control, even if it's a shitty creature, whatever, you get a creature. Control's digging it, and it has Ward 2, so it's hard to interact with. And then target -6, that destroys Azorius control. Destroys them. If they have dead. Creatures, it's probably like a couple.
They're dead.
And then combine it, like Drunken said, if you have a bigger brain than any us three, Esper Control. Man, Esper Control is definitely coming back, utilizing Tasha and Teferi. No, I love this card. This card is for sure going to be a staple. It will see play. I bet everything. Every fucking win in combat I've gotten, the 2, I guess. I'll bet on Tasha seeing play. Absolutely. Love this card.
Look at this guy. Gets 2 wins and he's fucking...
he's a king now.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely like this in Brawl and stuff too. I just like this card. I think it's good. I don't think it's pushed. I think it's very fair for Dimir. I think it's great. This is exactly what I want in this set. And you know what? It's not full of fucking nonsense, like alchemy mechanics, right? Like they did the -1 counters instead of perpetually, which, I like that. I like that this is a normal Magic card that they added.
I don't know.
Alchemy,
I don't know
right?
who they got from R&D to actually build a normal Planeswalker. It has a fair fucking ability, a great ultimate. It's like, holy shit, whoa, am I playing Magic again? Like, this is amazing.
If it did perpetually -1/-1 to all,
very strong,
it would be. I think it'd be too strong.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's a reason I think they went with the -1/-1.
The counters instead. Yeah. Okay. Sweet, man. Yeah, Tasha's awesome, and we were talking about it. Like the art is just amazing. And then lastly, Drunken, your last pick, which is Reckless Barbarian.
Yeah, an incredibly boring common. All right. So it's 1 and a red for a creature, dragon, barbarian at common. Has sacrifice Reckless Barbarian, add red, and it is a 2/2. So why did I pick this boring ass common card? Because I actually think this is a really strong card. I think anytime that you can cheat mana, I mean, you're not really cheating it, but you're paying 2 and you could potentially sack it and just get that 2 mana back. I think this works really well in a mono red deck. Yeah. Where you want to come in, you want to swing in, and if they're going to block it or something, or if they're going to get rid of it, you can just sack it, get the 2 red mana, and then do a lightning bolt or a lightning strike to the dome, If you want to play black-red sack, you can play this out, go in for a swing or something, sack it when you need to, ping them, get the red mana, play something. Anytime I think where you can get mana, you don't have to pay to sack it. You just sack it on the fly. Yeah. You can do some pretty disgusting things with cards like that. And I don't know if this card's going to be great, but I definitely think we're going to see it in the format. I don't know if it's going to be mono red, black red, or potentially, I don't know what the other deck I was thinking of. There's another deck.
Dragons, maybe? It is a dragon.
It is a dragon.
It's a dragon.
I mean, dragons suck though. So
on turn 3, you could potentially have 5 mana though.
Yeah, no, you can. Yeah.
So that's not bad. And there's some other good things in. There's some other like buffs to dragons, especially in Brawl, right? Like this could be great in a Brawl dragon deck. You can definitely propel something out there, right? Yeah. Like if you're not hitting your mana curve or something, you could just swing in once and then fucking sack it, and then you'll get your red. Yeah, I like it.
What do you guys think?
I like it. It's very simple. It could die. It could have some good effects. I really like it for dragon decks, specifically in like Brawl or something like that, because maybe in late game it has some type of dragon synergy. In an early game, it can ramp you, into a big dragon that maybe you wouldn't be able to normally get in so early. So I think it's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I looked at this at first and was like, meh. And then I was like, maybe I thought you were trying to go with some jank combo thing with this.
No.
But no, yeah, I think this can fit in a couple different things, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Looking at the design, it's pretty simple, but there's like some key things that are pretty relevant. The fact that it's a 2/2 for 2 is always good. It's just a normal bear. Sure. But that it's colorless red is really good, because the sack ability gives you that double red pip, right? So that's actually pretty good, because if it was double red to cast this, I would think this would be a bad card.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's colorless red, that's actually a pretty good fact. And it adds a depth of complexity that Drunken Dork was kind of pointing out. You can now confidently attack, like it would say you're playing Burn, and you can confidently attack, and if someone blocks and you're like, all right, cool. The Burn spell that I had that I would have used to kill the creature so that way I can attack freely, I'm just going to go face with it. So There's like a level of complexity. I mean, it's not like insanely complex, but for burn, it's just combat tricks. I like it. It's a good card.
And it's a common, so
yeah, it's a common.
Yeah.
I will say, so like the main takeaway of this card, and like our picks in general, is that like I do think the last two that you guys picked were pretty good, especially Apollo's. I think that card's good, but the card pool in general I think is bad. Yeah, and like we picked I think some of the best cards out of there in our opinions. Definitely not factual. And this is what I picked, a common, the sacks for red.
Yeah.
That's a 2/2. That says something, I think, more than anything about the set. Yeah. It's unfortunate. And this is a alchemy set. So you can't expect much because it's going to be in that format and it can't be too OP. It just makes me sad because I really just want them to just jump back into historic. Why? It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we got a historic.
I just wish they focused on Pioneer, right? Like going back towards Pioneer instead of this alchemy bullshit. Yeah. Like get us back there. Like, right? We have Explorer now, and I love Explorer. I would love to get another set that goes back instead of these like nonsense sets that don't really do that much. Like I would prefer that so much more over. But I am actually so this brings us into the last topic I think before we go over, which what do you think about this set? Okay, I starting off don't feel bad that it sucks. I actually like that it's bad for overall because I don't want to spend the wild cards on it. I don't have that many wild cards. I already have a bunch of weird jank stuff that I want to build with my wilds. So I'm kind of glad that there is very few cards in here that I actually like because I just don't want to spend the money or the wilds on this set. So I'm actually happy that it's not that great. There's a couple things that we like that we talked about. Those are probably the only cards that I would think about crafting. Apollo, what do you think overall about this set? Like happy, sad, do you hate it, love it, what?
I don't care for it. I think it's weird. I think Wizards is trying to make something and they made it something better for a different format, which I think is Historic Brawl. Looking through these cards, a lot of the cards I think are great commanders. I think they're great utility for commander cards. I think they're just great for Brawl and Commander. And I think they kind of like dropped the ball on that one. So if this is what they're trying to do, they failed. But there is some cool cards. We pointed out some of them. Like Drunken said, it's very opinionated. So let us know in the comments below or our Discord.
I'm curious
what you guys think is good, or if we're fucking wrong. I don't know. We're pretty dumb. So, but that's my initial impression. If they were trying to make and add to the format that is Alchemy, I think they dropped the ball because the cards are pretty lackluster. And the way that they're written, I completely see them working for only Brawl.
Drunken. I think for Alchemy, this is probably going to be an increase in in playability or whatever. It might shake up that format. I don't ever play the format, and this isn't going to make me want to play the format. I'm actually not. Besides maybe a couple of cards I want, like the one Apollo picked, I'm not going to spend anything on this. And unlike Hoshi, this does make me sad because. I want them to put more effort in Historic and they, even though this is called Alchemy Horizons, they approached it as Alchemy and Historic. And I don't want Historic to only move in this one direction, and I don't want if this is their effort towards Historic in 2022,
it's not
it's not a good thing. Right. And I want to see Historic Anthology or something. We haven't heard anything about it, right? No new Historic Anthology, no new Historic Horizons. Maybe that's a biannual thing, and that's fine if that's what they want to do. They want to do a biannual Historic Horizons. I like that. But they were releasing Historic Anthology a couple times a year, and we haven't seen that shit in a long time. So, well, that's the only thing that makes me sad, really.
Historic was special for a little while, we got unique cards in there and stuff, and now they treat Historic like the toilet that everything just kind of flows into, right? And they're like, oh, we don't need to worry about historic anymore because everything alchemy just goes into historic, so we don't care about that.
We're just the
format.
septic tank that fucking gets flushed into.
Even though it's besides standard, it's probably one of the most played formats. Like, so it makes no sense to me. You know, it's just it's a place where people can take their old cards and make new cards, which in turn adds revenue to the fucking Wizards of the Coast. And I don't know.
I think
it's confirmed. Like, historic is the most played format on Arena
after standard. Standard is number one.
Standard
really?
is.
I just watched a video. Yeah. I just watched a video on analytics saying that.
No, standard.
Historic is.
No, I saw
maybe,
it. Yeah,
maybe
well,
they're
unless
close.
Maybe it is. Like I saw
it was from Pleasant Kenobi. I don't know if you guys have seen him.
Yeah,
maybe it was opinionated. I don't know.
He screams into the monitor. Yeah. I like him. I like him. I think he's fun.
Too. No, I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's fun. But anyways, I think that you're totally right on there. I am sad about this as well because of that. And then I feel like historic is just kind of getting left behind, and it's just kind of like hey, whatever, And I think it's because since standard has been such a moneymaker for Wizards for so long, when they came out with this alchemy thing, someone was like, dude, we'll pump up standard so that it's stronger. People are going to give us so much fucking money over this, And I think that is still kind of the mindset of Wizards right now, is they put in the effort into alchemy and they don't want to give up on it just yet.
It's so fun. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's so funny you say that because Apollo was just talking about the metrics. Alchemy is like the lowest metric out of any of the formats besides Brawl. And so when they usually with Pioneer, for example, they basically just they had Pioneer and then they forgot about it. They're like, oh, people aren't playing because pandemic happened, so whatever. People aren't playing Alchemy. Why are they riding the Alchemy train so hard? Does Mark Rosewater number one on this set? And he's like, no, this is my baby. I ain't giving up on my baby.
I think you exactly hit it on the nose. Maybe not Mark Rosewater, but somebody in the higher up chain had they loved this idea, and now they're doubling down on it, despite what the fans think. This is a straight corporate decision that is just one dude just thought he hit the money train on this, and he's like, we have to write it out, guys. We'll write it out. The fans are wrong. It's like that. It's like that meme that Apollo puts up all the time. The fans are wrong. I am right. Right. Yeah. That's exactly what's happening here.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I'll put it up right now.
Yeah. Historic fucking, like we said, it is has been our baby. We've loved historic for a long time. I think it's something that Wizards accidentally stumbled upon, kind of like EDH. It's like they ignored EDH for so long, despite it being one of the most popular Magic formats for it, because they didn't come up with it, because the fans kind of came up with it. And I feel like that's kind of how historic was just kind of this dumpster thing that they were like, oh, well, instead of just rotating the cards out, we'll let you kind of play historic. It wasn't something that they ever, I think, intended to have as a format that became a popular format, and now they're kind of resentful for it, maybe because it wasn't really their idea. I don't know. This is just my rambling.
I mean, it was
thoughts,
just to appease the people who spent money on cards that can't be played.
Yeah,
fine. Here's
exactly.
a fucking format you can play.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, they were like, okay, we'll let you still play with your cards, guys.
And initially they were like, but if you guys want to play this and you don't have the card, it's going to be two wild cards, two wild cards, and then everyone was like, fuck you, Wizards.
Never forget they tried to do that to us. They tried to make us play double wilds for any historic card. Never forget that the extreme greed of Wizards with that decision. If you ever start thinking that they're a company who gives any shit about you, just remember that. That decision.
Absolutely.
Man, at least we got them to roll back on that. All right.
You know who will never sponsor our show is Wizards.
Wizards.
Never.
Never.
Hey guys, could you not shit on us?
That's fine. That's fine.
Never.
That's one of the reasons I stopped listening to the Command Zone
They're too biased,
podcast.
yeah.
They're way too biased
they're
now.
sponsored by them.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like when I used to watch them, they had a little bit more opinions that were their own at the beginning, and then they completely fell off. Like, I don't want to be just a straight Wizards hater because that's what I feel like the fans want to hear. But at the same, I just want to be able to talk how I feel about the actual fucking company, on a podcast. And it turns out when you make
That's
zero,
why you should like and subscribe because we tell the truth, yo.
it turns out when you make zero money, it's really easy to do that. You're just like, whatever. Fuck it.
we're wrong.
Say exactly
but we
what
tell the truth.
I mean,
Generally,
I feel like
Apollo's always wrong.
We just say how we feel. We just say how we feel, and that's great. That's one of the nice things about this is I feel zero pressure to suck up to literally anyone.
But no hate on the Command Zone guys. I mean, I do like them, but
yeah,
yes, they're great.
They work for Wizards.
I just can't watch it, anymore. Yeah. I just felt like it was just a straight like
they're a good introductory to Magic.
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I feel like they were great, and then they became a little bit of sellouts, which
nothing wrong with that.
I mean, sure, you know what? If you're gonna make
your money,
if you're gonna make your money, make your money. But it left a sour taste in my mouth specifically. If you guys like watching them, I totally get it.
Right.
They have great production. Whatever.
Let's stop shitting on them. Yeah, let's stop shitting on them. Let's
they are
go.
great. They are great.
Yeah, they are good. Yeah.
Well, that's why they got sponsored.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
And we'll never will.
Absolutely. Well.
Yeah.
With that, you guys ready to move on to end step?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
End step.
Oh yeah, and with end step, this is our comments, questions, and concerns. Or corrections, one of those. Yeah, thanks. So I know we saw something in there. I saw something in there, and I almost clicked on it, but thank God I didn't, because this is where you guys out there can join our Discord, and you can enter anything that you want into that comments, questions, and concerns file that we have on there, a channel, and you can say whatever you want, and we will read it here on the podcast, and we'll respond to it in whatever way, and we don't check that channel. So which one of you guys is taking this one?
This is me, sir.
All right, Apollo. All right, what do we got in there? What do we got in the dumpster?
Oh man, there is a lot, boys.
That's exciting.
Yes.
I'm excited about this.
Me too. Yeah.
Okay.
So last week when we recorded our episode, Hoshi's cable guy or whatever, his internet dude, came by, fucking cut his internet, and we knew this was happening, so we're kind of trying to rush through the episode towards the end. And it happened at the most perfect time because the internet cut out.
End, yeah.
Drunken and I were talking by ourselves. I left that audio in, and Hoshi was by himself, just doing the outro. So I kept that in, and I combined all that for the episode. If you guys haven't seen it, but on the Discord, Jacavio's solo Hoshi at the end of volume 87 was epic. The way Apollo and Drunken froze out was great, because I also left us we were just frozen dumb faces, dude.
I was so confused, and I was like, oh no, I've been interacting with, I don't know how to do the outro without you guys, or anyone to talk to you. I was so fucking befuddled,
And again, all these comments, if you want to join our Discord, be sure to do it, because this is funny and it's hilarious. It's a great community. So we have Binary Soloist. Again, Hoshi was shitting on Red, and he's very controversial when he talks about Red. And there's people who defend it.
That's fine.
We got Binary Soloist.
That's fine.
Yeah, because Hoshi was like, no card has ever been banned in Red. And then he changed it and said, in Historic. And then me and Drunken are dumb. We're like, oh, okay, all right, we'll concede on that. Binary Solace was like, Burning Tree Emissary was suspended in Historic, and Rampaging Ferocidon and Rumbat Ruins were banned in Standard. Referring to never banning red cards. And I gave that thumbs up. Someone else did.
Okay. Yeah, hell yeah. I like that.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Binary Soloist, call him out for his bullshit.
All right. Yes. Burning Tree was, but Burning Tree had to be I think it was 50% of the meta at that point when it was suspended, still not banned. And it came back. It's back in the format right now, and it is a very powerful card still.
It is.
But it's also not mono red. That is a Gruul card.
It's also a mono red card too.
It is. It can be in mono red, but it's a Gruul card, so I reject that one. But the other one.
Oh, okay. All right.
I do appreciate his comment, though. Okay. All right. What else? What else do we got?
So we have, I don't remember the reference. I imagine it's from an episode. You guys are going to have to correct us in the comments. But Chicavio says they banned Reflector Mage in Standard. I don't think that's a very high bar. Not sure what that was referencing to.
That's referencing the comment before with Binary Soloist with the standard bans, I think.
Okay.
Saying that, like, ban in standard, it's not a high bar.
Yeah.
Got
I
it.
believe.
Well, whatever.
That's what
we
I'm
have like
reading
we have a little community rant going on with that. But next one we have Tim Raines in real life. Love you guys. Hoshi, your burnt rant was unhinged. Lightning Bolt, super legal and modern.
Yeah.
Always. Burning Tree Emissary was banned out of Historic and then put back in when the deck turned out to be fine.
Once again, not
this
mono
dumb
red.
1-mana enchantment is not moving my ratio with or against the deck. Exile, effects, and burn are numerous and canonical.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
With
So
saying,
again,
with saying in Explorer, not in Historic. Once again,
right.
I said it should not be banned in Historic. I said in Explorer it should be banned because
comments. I want you to look at his text and then make sure. Let's correct that. You timestamp that shit.
I definitely said
put
that
those
at the end.
timestamps there.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
let's prove Hoshi wrong.
I get it, and it's fine. I don't fault people for liking mono red. I get that some people like it.
You just hate them and want to see them die with your BB gun.
I just don't like it, and I feel like mono red just gets like all the toys and never like any pushback. So. And I feel like everything else gets pushed back except for that one. I don't know why. I think it may be Wizard's Baby. I don't know.
Or extreme biasm or biasy.
It's fine. Yeah, exactly. I don't say that I'm not. I don't like burn. I don't like it. I've never liked it except for the fact that the games tend to go quick, right? That's the one thing I do appreciate about burn. Is normally it goes fast. So I do enjoy that aspect of it, right?
But yeah, so with that, Tim Raines, we thank you again. If we say anything wrong, like I said, we're not pros. We know. So thank you guys for correcting us on telling us how things are and the actual effects with burn and stuff like exile effects and burn. Yes. They are numerous and they are canonical. It fits Red's theme.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm still right that nothing in Historic has ever been banned that is mono red because Burning Tree is a Gruul card. So
no, it's also in mono red though. All right,
it's not. Going. It's Gruul. It's not mono red.
It's played in many mono. It's literally played in mono red.
It literally has two colors in. It could be played in mono green as well. Therefore, not mono red. Therefore, I am right. Technically,
it's played in mono red.
It can be
in mono red.
It can be a mono green deck. Therefore, not a mono red card.
All right.
So if you're playing it for 2 red,
you can't argue against that. You can't argue against that.
I disagree completely. But
it's
Discord,
not a mono. It's not a mono red card.
I want to hear this.
It can be in mono green, therefore not mono red.
So CY Sai Kai. I'm sorry, I don't know how this is pronounced, but Pillar of Flame, Lava Coil, and Magma Spray in particular shows up in a fair amount of burn decks. Spikefield Hazard has its day 2 for kicks. I did this search in Scryfall, so thank you again.
Magic cards found
we really do appreciate you guys correcting us and showing us resources.
Effect.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
These kids are playing flame blessed bolt now. So thank you, Binary Soloist.
That's a pretty good card too.
And,
it's true.
So that's pretty much it. Other than that,
I love it. I love it that every single person in the comment was only about Hoshi's mono red rant because
that's fine.
Hoshi is a
super
grumpy
down.
2 shoes with his fucking mono red hate.
Grumpy grumps.
That's fine.
That's fine. And it's fine. You're right.
Yeah, I don't care about people. I don't expect everyone to agree with me on literally everything. That is the whole point of this podcast, is that we talk about stuff, and some people agree, some people disagree. Most of the time people disagree with me, especially when it comes to mono red. Like, I like big red. I do like red in some instances, right? But I just don't like burn. And that's just my flavor choice. And I think sometimes every once in a while, it should get maybe just a little bit of curbing, maybe suspend something every once in a while. Maybe.
Here's your chance. Join the Discord.
Maybe.
Shit on Hoshi.
I don't know. Whatever.
Click that like button, subscribe,
Maybe.
bell notification if you want to be kept up on all of our videos.
Just me.
Yeah,
me.
no, it is. You are right.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has their own opinion. That's the beauty of Magic. It's literally rock, paper, scissors. You choose what you like, and you either do or you don't. I mean, there's no wrong answer. You are not wrong for hating red.
I have very specific PTSDs with Magic, and there's two. It is mono red, and it's Azorius control. There's been a couple times throughout Magic's history where they have just dominated the fuck out of like whatever format I've been playing, and they're just both awful to play against. So like, and they just, Wizards just didn't curve it. So those two, especially like the Teferi, the 5 fairy, that was by far the worst time. When 5 fairy like ruled over everything, and every game was like an hour long.
You mean 3 fairy?
Yeah,
no,
3
5
fairy.
No, 5 fairy.
Okay.
I think it was standard. At standard in the early days of Arena, when like that was the best deck. I think it was it wasn't Orzhov, maybe it was Dimir control, not Dimir, whatever.
Azorius.
Yeah, no, the 3 color. What's the shard?
Esper.
Esper, yeah, Esper control was the king. And every game was like an hour long. I was like, I can't play Arena anymore. This is just too
And this is why we are called Manaran, everyone.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap this shit
Let's
up.
end this fucker.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to cleanup then.
Cleanup.
Oh, okay. So cleanup is our second to last phase, where we just talk about social media stuff. So Apollo, how can people get a hold of us?
They can get a hold of us on all forms of social media. You can follow our Facebook, popping up, Twitter, popping up, YouTube, popping up, Spotify, Amazon, Alexa, whatever, Google. However you can listen to shit with your earballs, it's there.
Nice.
If you want to see us with your eye hears, like you can do that too.
Eye hears?
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can do all the things. We got them, and they're popping up on screen right now. And fuck, dude, Jacavia wanted a bio again, but this is going too long. I think
We
gotta
ranted
end
a
it.
little bit.
I think we just have to do
ranted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I
us.
think Hoshi
It was
just
us.
like. No, whatever. We'll have to do it next episode. I'm sorry, guys. You will get it. You will know more about our dumb.
We might need to
past.
restart that too, actually. But yeah. Anyways,
We will.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's move on.
All the things. Let's move on.
Let's move on to the last and final stage, which is our phase, which is our discard phase.
Our phase?
Discard
This is our
phase.
Yeah, it's ours.
Drink
This is
'em
our
up,
phase.
boys.
This is
This is
all
where we
our
shine.
This is ours.
phase.
This is ours.
This is where we shine,
and
boys.
discard is where we say our final goodbyes very quickly and let you guys know how we feel about you deeply. So, guys, any final farewells to the?
Deeply. Burning Tree Emissary, mono red, bro. Get over it.
Oh my god! All right, Apollo.
Love you guys. Please like, subscribe, click that bell notification. It really does help us out. If you're listening wherever you are in the world, join the YouTube and our Discord. It really does help us out, and we want to keep doing this for you guys. So cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, guys, and thanks for joining us again. We will see you right here in 2 weeks, back here on Manaran. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait till they shit on you.
Oh, dude.
Dude, everyone's gonna light you up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big
You
time.
just shit on red 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, dude. Basically.
You're fucked, dude.
I'm like a Satanist in a Christmas church talking about it. Or a Christian church.
Yeah. You just fucked up, dude.
I don't care. I don't care. Whatever.
You're like, bring it on. Burning Tree Emissary is not red.
It's not mono red. It has literally fucking green in the colors. I don't know. You guys are you're either colorblind or you don't know how colors work or something. It's not mono red. It can be in a mono goddamn green deck. It can be in mono
It can be
red.
mono red. It can be mono green. It can be Gruul. The thing is, just because it's not, it can be multiple things doesn't mean it's not one or the other. Does that make sense?
No, it does not. That's not how logic
does
works.
to me.
It is. It's both of them.
It's like all squares are rectangles, but not all. No, all rectangles are squares, but not all squares are rectangles. Type of thing. Does that make sense?
Hell yeah.
Yes, that still doesn't make it specifically mono red only, though. No, it does not. It does not.
The argument was
your logic just
a mono
disproved
red
your
card
own
wasn't
argument.
banned, and a mono red card was banned
Because it was in
because
mono red.
Burning Tree is a mono red card.
No, it's not.
It's played literally in mono red.
It is part of mono red, but it is also not a mono red card. It is a literal rule card.
Agree to disagree.
I guess so. That's like such a fucking stretch too, because sometimes it pops up in mono red decks, does not make it a mono red card. I'm talking about literally only things that exist in red.
I think what we're trying to say it's a mono red staple.
I feel like you guys are reaching really fucking hard, like with how Drunken thinks that multiplayers come into the game.
No, dude, it's only a matter of days.
Tippy toes reaching.